In a bombed out room in Belfast, a young boy is crying. He's alone and he don't understand how the teachings of one book, built on love and understanding, could cause the hurt and killing in his land. In an old part of Jerusalem, two children are playing. They run and laugh the way that it should be, but one will wear the star and one will wear the crescent. They'll grow up and change from friends to enemies, but we are one.
You're welcome to Peace, Unity and Security Education. It's a program brought to you by the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Nigeria and FOPSE, which is the Foundation for Peace and Security in Nigeria, Security Education. Basically, this program is brought to you to help merge moral and spiritual values towards the fight against issues like disunity and to help promote peace and security in the land, both in Nigeria and all over the world. And the program today, of course, will focus largely on social milieu as well as understanding the Baha'i basic teachings, as well as the collaboration between the Baha'is of Nigeria and the Foundation for Peace and Security Education. That majorly would be our focus on the show today. And our guest on the show today is the Chairman, National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Nigeria, as well as the Executive Director of FOPSE, Retired Commissioner of Police, Barrister Lawrence Alobi. You're still watching Peace, Unity and Security Education, and we still have our guest with me in the studio, who is the retired Commissioner of Police of the FCT, Lawrence Alobi. He's also the Chairman, National Spiritual Assembly of Nigeria of the Baha'is, and the Executive Director for Foundation for Peace and Security Education. Our focus today, sir, will be on, let's start off looking at social milieu and the challenges we face of insecurity in Nigeria. There is so much reliance on our religious bodies, and there's also the palpable fear that some religious organizations may not be helping enough to help quell the division and the lack of trust among our people.
Yeah, first let us invite God to be in our presence. I want to start this program with a prayer. So let us pray. A prayer for unity. Oh my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and share their hearts by thy love. Verily, thou art their helper and their Lord. May all praise and glory be to God, the Lord of all the worlds. Yeah, this prayer said now reviewed by Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah is a prominent fan of the Baha'i faith. Later I will be explaining it as we progress in this program. But first, like Ben said, let's look at the social milieu, the social environment in which we live today in Nigeria. There's a lot of insecurity, moral decadence, disunity, where Nigeria is so fragmented in terms of prejudice, ethnic prejudice, religious prejudice, political prejudice, economic prejudice. We are so divided. There's no trust. We don't care for one another. We are just thinking about self, and we don't think about the others' welfare. We don't have that sense of justice any longer. We're considering that greed. So this is why the Baha'i faith, in collaboration with the Foundation for Peace and Security Education, deemed it necessary as one of their contribution towards making this country, promoting unity, peace and security. Because Baha'u'llah said, and I quote, the peace, security and well-being of mankind is unattainable until unity is firmly established. That unity cannot be achieved. Peace cannot be achieved. Peace cannot be achieved until we become united. We're like fingers of one hand, leaves of one tree, hairs of one hair. And again, if we recall also, even Bill Clinton, when he was addressing the United Nations General Assembly in 1995, he said, and I quote, he said, "We're all vulnerable, becoming less vulnerable when we unite and work together for the good of humanity." So when we unite, when there's unity, there'll be love. When there's disunity, there'll be crisis. Today, Nigeria is so fragmented, ethnic suspicion, lack of trust. So that's why the Baha'i faith, the National Assembly of the Baha'is of Nigeria, in collaboration with the Foundation for Peace and Security Education, deemed necessary that they have a role to contribute towards promoting unity, peace, and security. That this program is being organized. First and foremost, let's look at insecurity. There's insecurity all over the country. There's fear, predation everywhere. Killing, life means nothing again. And the one of the 10 commandments says, "Thou shalt not kill." Now we kill human beings like ants. We don't care the value. We have no value for life. There's no more trust. There's insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, the herdsmen, farmers clashes, community clashes, chieftaincy clashes, and so forth, armed robbery. This is why is this so? Because our moral values that used to guide our individual behavior, shape our individual behavior, and collective behavior is no longer there. Our social behavior is no longer there. And these moral values, spiritual values, is what we are emphasizing in this program. We want to use spiritual moral values how can we use to promote peace and security? Because when we understand those moral values, the moral values that in man, those are the attributes of God in man. When they say God created man His image and likeness, those moral values, those spiritual values that in man, that in God, that we show in our life, that shows that we are children of God. That what makes us a channel of God's grace to others. That will become a social value to others, social benefit to others. When we reflect in our life, manifest in our public life, our private life, the virtue of love, virtue of peace, virtue of forgiveness, virtue of trustworthiness, virtue of kindness, of forgiveness, of mercy, of compassion. Those are the attributes. Those attributes. That is the image of God in us. We don't see God with the image of God that is present. That's how we show the God in us. It is said that the scripture teaches us that God created man in His image and likeness. The image and likeness of God in us is this attribute. How do we manifest in our public and private life? Are we honest in what we are doing? Are we sincere in what we are doing? Are we detached in what we are doing? Do we allow ethnicity or tribal sentiment, religious sentiment, political sentiment to get our sense of judgment and sense of reasoning? How do we see others? Are we concerned about ourselves, or we're looking about? You see, Paul says we should look. Our vision should be national and world embracing, and not self. Self is a characteristic of the animal. Animal is concerned about self. But if you are in view of that spirituality in you, you care about others. Be willing to share. You have compassion. You have empathy. You have love. You are kind. You are trustworthy. So these are the moral values that we want every Nigerian to imbibe.
Yeah, I know that these are very important things that you have raised. But if we look at where we are coming from, in those days, we used to have people with high moral values, with very strong integrity. You could trust any Nigerian. But how did we lose it? What happened to our history? Where did we change?
It's not only Nigeria, it's all over the world. This is because man has deviated. Because man has refused to follow the teachings of God that have been sent to him in this era. You see, in every epoch, in every generation, God sends a manifestation who will reveal to mankind, who give mankind, guide mankind on how to live in the world He has created. God has a divine plan for the world, and that divine plan, He reveals them from generation to generation. This generation, it is the prophet founder, the link between the mouthpiece of God on earth is Baha'i. Baha'i is the prophet founder of the Baha'i faith. Baha'i means the glory of God. Those moral values, obedience, moral leadership, that concern about you. Leaders are concerned how to empower the people, how to empower them, how to see to their well-being and bettering their life. Not leaders who are there to impoverish the people. So these moral values, it is because we have deviated, and because, see, man is both a material and spiritual being. When man allows his material nature to dominate his life, the material being is only concerned with the physical physical benefit, physical enjoyment, evolution. But that when you allow your material life material nature to dominate one's life, you see, become peacefully in attitude, you become aggressive, you become greedy, you become like the animal. You become animalistic. You have animalistic nature in you will manifest more. In fact, God created man in this world to know God and serve God and to acquire those attributes that will enable him to have eternal life, different eternal life in the next world.
All right. I know that we had talked about Baha'u'llah once when we talked about him describing human beings and saying we have limbs in the womb, but we didn't use them.
Yeah.
We developed them so that we can use them in this world.
Yes.
And so we are having these spiritual virtues. We need to develop them
Yes.
so that we can use them
in the next world.
hereafter.
Yes.
Now, in preparing both to live a good life here and to live successfully and peacefully in the hereafter, how do you think the Baha'i teachings and the basic principles can help people to understand? Because as it were, some people have lost hope in some religions, and they've also lost hope probably in the justice system or even in simple moral teachings in schools. With the Baha'i family, is their hope?
Oh, the Baha'i religion is religion for mankind for today that will transform both individual character and society. You see, Baha'u'llah, when he revealed his teaching in 1863, laid down the principles that will make the world for world peace and world unity. And like I said earlier, when he started this program, he said the well-being of mankind is peace and security is unattainable until unity is firmly established. So what we think of Baha'u'llah, one is that God is one. God is one. Whether you call him Allah, you call him Chukwu, call him Yahweh, whatever you call God, come along, Abba-Obasi. It is one God. It's the creator of heaven and earth. The all-seeing God, the all-knowing God. God is an all-seeing God. He sees everything you do. In fact, what you don't know that what God has put in man that records everything we do is their shadow. Their shadow records everything you do. And at the end of this mortal world, it will be played back like a video for you to see what you've done. So, like you said earlier, Bible faith teaches us that while in the womb, preparing physical organs to come to a physical world. While in the womb, we never use our legs to walk, we never use our eyes, we never spoke. Preparing ourselves to a physical world, to this physical world. And while in the course of developing yourself in the womb, if you are properly developed, this is not properly developed, if you are born to this world, you have some deficiency, you had challenges, and you have some challenges too. So also yes, this life, we are here because the next world is going to be a physical world, it's going to be a spiritual world, eternal world. So we need to develop here to be able to have a brief sojourn and live a happy life. Christ said, in my Father's kingdom there are many kingdoms, many homes, many houses. If you don't develop yourself here, when you get it, you become a destitute. So the way to develop this is to acquire these attributes, those virtues, those attributes of God in your life. And Baha'u'llah said, he said God is one. If we all believe that God is one, we're creators of one Father, one Creator. And why should we be like fingers of one hand? Look at that finger, they're 5 fingers of one. They're not going to be equal size. They don't fight each other. And they should unite. If I want to carry an object now, the fingers unconsciously support each other. So also the strength of unity. So these are the things of Baha'i faith. And in Baha'i faith, we don't have clergy. There's no pastor, no clergy. Nobody will say nobody's a pastor. We're all here to learn. We're here to acquire the spiritual knowledge and moral knowledge, to be closer to God, to know God and to serve God and serve humanity.
Right, that's quite revealing, but thank you very much for sharing. But how would you shed a little more light on this relationship between, maybe you tell us some things about the Foundation for Peace and Security Education and how this collaboration with the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is in Nigeria, how it's been working?
Yeah, you see, like I told you, the main objective of the Baha'i faith is to establish world peace and world unity. And the Foundation for Peace and Security Education, where I'm executive director, we share common values, common goals, and so forth. So we feel that we can collaborate together to see how we can add value to humanity, how we can promote peace and security, and promote unity. That's why we came together and said, okay, no, let's do this program to educate mankind, for people to be conscious of the fact that they can contribute to peace and unity, and they can contribute to the safe security of this country. Security everybody concerned, but not just say this is our actions and our deeds, our actions that will lead to for us to have unity, to have peace. And when there's unity, there'll be peace, and when there's peace, there'll be security. So the Foundation for Peace and Security Education is there to It's an NGO, which is I am the executive director, and which is objective is to promote peace and security education, and also to help in training, building capacity of security agencies to educate the people, and also carry out public enlightenment on moral and spiritual education, carry enlightenment on democratic education, and to carry out because you see in this country people don't even understand what is democracy. They don't understand what is moral value. We do that without moral value. Today moral value is moral decadence. There have been some moral bankruptcy. Parents don't sit down to teach their children moral values, and we parents don't even exhibit in our private and public life moral values. We're all concerned in the rat race, how to grab power, acquire wealth. So the Foundation for Peace and Security they share common values, common objectives. That's why we have to come together to see how we can contribute, to see how we can add value to the peace and security of this country and promote unity of this country.
Well, you're still watching Peace, Unity and Security Education, a program brought to you courtesy of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Nigeria and the Foundation for Peace and Security Education in Nigeria, both of them helping to be sure that we can use moral and spiritual values to promote unity, peace and security in the land. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be finding out who you are, what is the purpose of life, and what you can do to help this cause. Stay with us. Well, thank you very much for staying with us. It's good to know that you're there. And this has been Peace, Unity and Security Education, brought to you by the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Nigeria and FOPSA, which is the Foundation of Peace and Security Education. In this program, we bring to you two sides that help to win a battle. that's using moral and spiritual values to be able to help promote unity, peace, and security. And I guess is still with me in the studio that's talking about the chairman of the Spiritual Assembly of Nigeria, of the Baha'is in Nigeria, and the executive director of FOPSI, retired Commissioner of Police, Lawrence Alubi. And he's been telling us really very deep things on how we can use both spiritual and moral values to help curb insecurity and division in our land. Before that break, you have been able to explain to us the various problems that we are faced with, and you also shared with us the collaboration between the Baha'i and FOPSI in helping to do this. But let's understand man. Who is man? So that we sit down to look at am a spiritual being, am I a material matter? What really is man, and what is man on earth for?
You see, from the anthropological viewpoint, they talk about the evolution of man from the ape and so forth. But that is a mystery that man cannot explain. How man was created, God was created. God created man from conception to birth. And to birth, after birth, you develop yourself. God has given us the capacity, the abilities to develop our potential to develop ourselves. Man is a creature of God. And one thing is that a creature does not know the creator. It's the creator that reveals himself to the creator, reveals himself to the creature. The seat we are sitting now, this seat does not know the maker. But the maker who made these chairs knows he has made a number of chairs in a month or a year. So God that knows us, he reveals himself to us. So no man ever sees God. You see God through his manifestations. And what he does, he sends a particular epoch, historical generation. He sends a messenger who is now going to be his mouthpiece, who will be the link between man and God. So God, in this era, from Abraham to Moses to Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, Muhammad, Buddha, the Bab, and today Baha'i, Jesus the Christ, these are the people who God has sent to manifest God to man, to make God, to bring humanity to their creator. So they now come up with some teachings. For instance, when Christ came, Moses came and said, an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. Christ came and said, no, the moral value of forgiveness. If one slaps you, forgive him. Right? But for Moses, it was retaliation, tooth for tooth. Christ said no. So now, because mankind, the time when Moses came, man was beastly. That was because man was so beastly, and that was the only way to tame that animal nature that dominated his life. Christ came and said, no, now it is moral spirituality, forgiveness. Today, the mouthpiece of God on earth is Baha'i. Baha'i means the glory of God. So his teachings, which I said earlier, the oneness of God, the oneness of mankind, equality of man and woman, the elimination of all prejudices. All prejudices must be eliminated. And the main purpose of the Baha'i faith is to establish world peace and world unity. Baha'i today is a profound fan of the Baha'i faith, and the Baha'i faith is the religion of God for mankind for today.
All right, thank you very much, Chairman of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is in Nigeria. But it's also important to know, how can people become Baha'is if they want?
Yeah, thank you for that question. You see, in other religion, maybe somewhere you are being baptized, they are like in the Christendom, you go to some people baptize you, go to the priest baptize you, sometimes you go to the river, they mention into water and so forth. For the Baha'is, it is your spirit, your mind. The mind, the heart, the mind is the seat of God. If you cleanse your heart, and accept the things of Baha'u'llah, you are a Baha'i. If you know that God is one, that mankind is one, and that religion is one, and that you believe in world peace and world unity, and you should exhibit moral values in your life, then you are a Baha'i. You show love to mankind. But also, one should not pray the loss is country, but one should pray the love mankind. If what they are doing, are you there to serve humanity? Do you have joy in service? Do you have joy in are you giving, adding value to the life of other people, to contributing? That makes you a Baha'i. So you don't have those rituals where you have to be baptized. If you just believe in those teachings of Baha'u'llah, which I've just said, those teachings of Baha'u'llah, elimination of all prejudices, that what God is one, that mankind is one, and people should promote world peace and world unity. And if you do, you are a Baha'i. Your question on signing the declaration card that you are firm and you believe in the teachings of Baha'u'llah and you are subject to the Baha'i faith. After that, we go through a process. You have to continue learning. We have what we call a process of, we have a program for children, because you need to expose children to moral values. So we have programs for children, we have programs for junior youth. Junior youths are between from the age of 15 to 21. We also program for adults. We study class, we study programs. This all to learn about God, to know more about the teachings of the faith. And in the Baha'i faith, like I said, has no clergy. We have institutions. In that, like today, now, like I said, I'm the chairman of the National Spiritual Assembly, the Baha'is of Nigeria. All Baha'is of Nigeria, every year, they have a national convention where they elect 9 members. 9 members, those 9 members are just to see the administration of the faith in that country. In a locality, in a community, you also have local spiritual assembly. They elect every year to those meet, do unit convention, elect 9 members. And then globally, our world center is in Haifa in Israel, where every 5 years, those they call Universal House of Justice. That's the supreme body of the Baha'i faith. That's where Baha'is every 5 years, members of the National Assembly convert in the World Center and elect 9 members who will now become members of the House of Justice, who will also pretend to all the affairs, the guidance of the faith, the direction of the faith in the country. And you can also know more about the Baha'i faith by you go to website www.baha'i.org. If you go to that website, hear more about www.baha'i.org. You get more information about the Baha'i faith. But here too in Abuja, if you want to know about the Baha'i, we have a Baha'i center in Zaoda, also behind the Baha'i house in Guanempa. You go to Guanempa, the Baha'i house, that is where our national office, you have more information from there. Baha'u'llah says mankind is one. One mankind. The world is by one God. Mankind are citizens. Whatever you are, a human being, you are in a planet. Planet is one planet. So we should not be a brother's keeper. We should show love. We should promote unity, promote peace amongst ourselves, and promote security.
Well, you heard it all from the chairman of the National Spiritual Assembly of Baha'is of Nigeria and the executive director of the Foundation for Peace and Security Education. He's taken us through a journey and brought back hope to us. His message is clear: de-emphasize material things and help to escalate spiritual things. Cleanse your mind and this world will be a better place. Let's focus on peace, on unity, and on security. That will help us. For you to know more about the Baha'is, you need to go to www.baha'i.org, and you'll be having a lot of information there to help you stay afloat on this program. But thank you very much. My name is Benjamin Ubiri, and next week we'll come your way again with some more inciting and educative issues that will help you keep the country safe. Remember, our focus is on peace, security, and above all, unity. Thank you very much. Join us again next week.
In a bombed out room in Belfast, a young boy is crying. He's alone and he don't understand how the teachings of one book, built on love and understanding, could cause the hurt and killing in his land. In an old part of Jerusalem, 2 children are playing. They run and laugh the way that it should be. But one will wear the star and one will wear the crescent. They'll grow up and change from friends to enemies. But we are